All right, there are very few things that threaten to destroy your gains like an injury. Now, obviously, the first step is to minimize our risk of injury altogether, and we can do that with good exercise selection, a commitment to uncommonly good exercise technique, and good exercise programming. And if we're on point with all that, we can significantly reduce our injury risk, but we can't eliminate it completely because everything we do carries with it some injury risk, even something as simple as walking down the street. So even if you're doing everything right, sometimes little tweaks and pains just pop up. It's just part of training. Now, the good news is that if you're primarily training with basic body weight exercises and you're doing everything right, serious injuries like the life-changing variety, those are pretty rare. Now, if you do run into problems, it's likely to be nagging overuse injuries like tendinitis. And here's how I typically handle it. So step one, I find a variation of the irritating movement that I can perform without pain. And if that doesn't work, I'll try to find a variation of another exercise that allows me to work the same musculature without pain. And if that doesn't work, I'll look for an isolation movement that bypasses the injury site, but still trains some of the musculature in the kinetic chain without causing pain. And if that doesn't work, I'll look for an exercise that trains different musculature in the same region that doesn't cause pain. And if that doesn't work, I'll rest the whole region and keep training areas that are unaffected by the injury. But the goal is to always keep moving. So let me give you a practical example of how this could play out. Okay, so say you get golfer's elbow from doing straight bar chin-ups. So step one would be to look for a different pull-up or chin-up variation you can do pain-free. So maybe it's with a different grip width, or maybe you use rings instead of a straight bar. And if that doesn't work, then you try to train the same musculature but with a different exercise. So in this case, you might try a variation of a ring row or an Australian pull-up. And if that doesn't work, you're going to want to look for an isolation exercise that bypasses the injury site but still allows you to train some of the pulling musculature. So maybe you try something like reverse ring flies. And if that doesn't work, then you might just take a break from pulling altogether and maybe just concentrate on some pushing exercises for a few days while the inflammation and irritation go down before retrying the previous steps. And of course, if that doesn't work, you would just rest your whole upper body and focus on leg training while your upper body recovers. So there's almost always a workaround, and the very worst thing you can do is to just quit being active, because then you compound the injury with being sedentary. So it's better to be hurt but active and fit than it is to be hurt and out of shape as well. So I hope that provides some guidance. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.